How's it going? David from Comic Book Investments. So in this video, we're going to look at 5 keys that are heating up. Some of these, I told you so, and some of these are heating up and you need to sell right away. But before I do get into that, this book right here, this Spider-Man 252 9.2, is up on our website as a giveaway. That is collectorscomics.com. All you got to do is hit the little enter giveaway if you want this book, and we will contact you through the email that you use. Pretty simple. So go over to collectorscomics.com and enter in that giveaway. And we also have an auction coming up next week. All right, first up is we got Super Mario Brothers #1. An 8.0 is up 59% from 128 to 203. A 9.6 is up 13% from 663 to 749. And a 9.8 is up from 2,000 back in February. And one just sold for 25.50. That's up 29%. And that one was actually my book that I sold. Yes. So here's the thing. I talked about Super Mario Brothers years and years and years ago to buy it. And then all of a sudden, obviously, the comic boom happened, shot it up really high, and then they announced the movie, yada, yada, you know. When the movie came out and it was a financially box office hit, a lot of people liked it. Me particularly didn't, not that much. But nonetheless, when it's a massive hit like this, that helps the book. So you never really know, right? A lot of people sell and it kind of peaks around the trailer's time. But then if the movie comes out and it's a huge hit, that's good for the book, because what ends up happening, people get on the nostalgia train, they get all hyped up about Mario, they saw it, they really loved it, it's doing gangbusters in the box office, and then they're like, you know what, I'm gonna buy a Mario book. And so then they go looking and then they buy one. That's usually how it happens. So if the movie sucks, it does the exact opposite. People go, oh, this movie sucks, I have zero desire to buy a book. And so the price drops because supply and demand. You go watch a movie, turns out to be really, really good. More people all of a sudden get bit with the Mario bug, and now they're like, hey, I want to get it. So then demand. They go, not very many supply. Boom. That's how it works. So yes, another one on this list is another one I predicted. Legend of Zelda #1. A 9.4 is up 120% from 186 to 409. A 9.6 is up 100% from 250 to 500. And a 9.8 is up 46% from 1,200 to about 1,750. Again, this is the same thing. I called this a long time ago. I'm like, well, if Mario does good, the next thing they're going to do is probably maybe a Zelda movie. I think they're doing a Donkey Kong movie is what I think they're doing. But anyways, eventually they're going to get to Zelda. So that's why this book is going up. And yeah, I mean, this book will continue to climb over time. It'll probably dip a little bit until there's some news. Then eventually they'll announce something, and so on and so forth. But these Nintendo comic books, I mean, if you look back literally just like 2020, they were going for like $50, $100, nothing. And now they're up into the multiple thousands of dollars. So yeah. All right, next on this list is Star Wars Force Awakens #1. This is the adaptation of the movie. A 9.6 is up 400% from $20 to $100. A 9.8 is up 56% from 154, up 154% from $59 to $150. So this is the adaptation. The reason why this is heating up is because it's the first appearance of everyone that's in Force Awakens, like Rey and Finn and yada, yada, yada. They're doing a new Rey movie, I think. Maybe a trilogy. I don't know. Nonetheless, I would sell this book. If I had one, I would sell it right now while it's peaking, because this movie, probably won't come out. If it does, it won't be for many, many years, because Kathleen Kennedy, let's face it, she has not a very good track record of announcing movies and then them not coming out. So if you don't know what's going on, Kathleen Kennedy's like the president. She's like the Kevin Feige over for Star Wars. She announces movie constantly, trilogies, everything, and most of the time they never come out. And when they do, most of the time they're not very good. So I wouldn't hold your breath on this happening. Even if it does happen, it's not going to be for a very, very long time, and I don't care what anyone else says. She has a terrible track record of stuff coming out. And also, she is on her way out. There's been tons of rumors that she's pretty much done. So the new person that comes in will probably be like, yeah, let's get rid of this and let's get a whole slate of new Star Wars things that they had on whatever day they had it on, where they announce everything. So I wouldn't hold your breath on this comic book. Nonetheless, even if it does come out, I wouldn't expect it to be, this book to go up with it. It's just not going to happen. So I would sell it. Next, we got Spider-Boy #1. Not very many sales of this book. A 9.8 is up 178% from $55 just a few months ago, now selling for $153. Why is this book up? No real reason, other than the fact that they announced some Spider-Boy in the Marvel comic universe. It has nothing to do with this. This, if you didn't know, this was during this time when DC and Marvel would like merge characters together for one. I think Wolverine and Batman were combined character in one. So this was Spider-Boy, is supposed to be Superboy and Spider-Man mixed together. They had a bunch of them. I want to say, was Superman and Captain America merged into one? I really can't remember. It's been a while. But anyways, that's from that. This was like a one-off thing. Nothing, beyond that. And so I'm assuming whoever bought this is confused. There's not that many sales of it, and it looks like just one person paid way too much for it. If I had this book, I would sell it, but I think they're confused, and they think that this Spider-Boy is actually the first appearance of the Marvel Comics Spider-Boy. And here's the thing. This can never be the same character. It may be a name, but never the same character, because this is partly owned by DC. You think DC is going to allow Marvel to have like their character? Unless they're redoing this whole merge thing and they're doing that all over again. But nonetheless, I think whoever bought this is confused. And last, we got 4-color 29. A 1.8 is up 78% from 450 to 800. A 2.0 is up 23% from 320 to 394. And a 2.5 is up 17% from 468 to 550. Yeah, I mean, you see that 1.8 going for $800. It's like, I mean, these books are kind of rare, old. There's not that many that make any sales. This is like the 3 newest sales there are. And yeah, they're all low grade. That's probably what you can find mostly of this book. Once in a while, you get a high grade, maybe one a year in a high grade. But nonetheless, it's going up. Overall, if you look at that graph, it hasn't really gone up. It hasn't really gone down. It goes down for a little bit, goes up for a little bit. That's how it's going to be with this book. It'll just like over time, maybe the higher grades will have more of a jump. Like if you had like a 6.0 or an 8.0 of this book, it'll probably have like a bigger jump, but not really. These types of books, they're not like big movers, and their customer base is kind of dying out. I'm not saying that Donald Duck doesn't exist, but Donald Duck is, as a comic character, even just a character in general, is not nearly as popular as he was 50s and 60s and 70s and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that, like I said, supply and demand. When your population that is into this is dying off, the demand starts to shrink unless you get new blood in there. And I don't think there is as much new blood coming into Walt Disney type comic books. Now, the keys will always still be good. Like, this is a key. But in general, any of those Hanna-Barbera ones, what was those other ones? Those like Casper and stuff, whatever, Harvey, things like that. Those are going to be going less and less over time. The keys will always do well because they're keys, but overall, there's not that many people are trying to get a Wendy the Witch run or a Yogi the Bear run. So that population will start to shrink and shrink and shrink. Like, I know my dad was really into like this, like kind of stuff. You would get, all those Hanna-Barbera stuff. And he'd always, and this was like probably like 5-10 years ago. He's like, why? I have all these like the highest grades. Like, why aren't they selling? I'm like, Dad, no one wants those books. He's like, and I think that can happen. Like, as a select type of people start dying off, and there's no new blood to refuel this, demand. That's, look at the green llama. It's a perfect example. Very popular back in the day, and not popular now. Have a good day.